Ta-da! Ooh. Hello? Is anybody in here? How's everybody doing? I hope everybody is doing very well. Happy Wednesday evening. It has been a wild couple of weeks. I don't know if anybody here has been feeling the eclipses, but I have, and we are just riding the waves. Every day is a new day of adventure and excitement and surprises. So please type in the chat if you've been feeling the excitement of the eclipses. We had a lunar eclipse about 2 weeks ago in Gemini, and we had a solar eclipse in Sagittarius on Monday. And this most recent solar eclipse was in a very close, tight relationship with the planet Mars in another fire sign. So there's a lot of fiery energy, and perhaps some of y'all may be feeling charged up, or lots of fire, lots of energy, a little restless, or more easier to be frustrated or impatient or passionate or full of fire. There's a lot of fire going on right now. And of course, next time we have this grid meditation will be after the Saturn-Jupiter conjunction. Oh, isn't that a nice? Yeah, that's a volcano right there. So for those of y'all that are not aware, there is a great cosmic convergence happening in the sky, and that would be the planets Saturn and Jupiter. And as a matter of fact, perhaps some folks in Colorado, if it's not too cloudy, you'll be able to see actually the moon right together with Jupiter and Saturn in the setting, where the sun sets in the southwest skies right now, like probably right now. And we didn't get to see it here because it is very cloudy. It was rainy today here. But next month, there'll be another chance to see the great conjunction Saturn and Jupiter with the moon. And the lore goes, so it says, that the moon is like the mediator. So we're having this Jupiter-Saturn conjunction on December 21st. It's this great, beginning of a 20-year cycle and a 200-year cycle of these kind of conjunctions happening in air signs. But the moon comes along and is like a mediator. It's a way for that to really be received and integrated here on Earth. So perhaps you all have been having a very exciting day, and I imagine tomorrow will likely be the same. But really these next several hours, all over the world, because it's night here, but over in the other hemisphere, one of the other hemispheres, it is daytime. And yeah, there's probably going to be some big global events within this next 24 hours. Today, maybe within this next 24 hours. So that's the moon coming to mediate the great conjunction of Jupiter and Saturn. I'm glad you saw it, Nancy. It's really unreal, and they're getting closer and closer in the sky right now. And with the moon there, that's just such a treat. Such a treat. All right, so wanted to acknowledge that, and actually, believe it or not, folks, the planet Saturn will be journeying into, there we go. We'll be journeying into the sign of Aquarius in literally 3 hours. I just pulled up my ephemeris here. Y'all see, there is Saturn zipping into the sign of Aquarius at 12:04 a.m. Eastern time, so 10:04 p.m. Colorado time. And I'm not sure what time in Australia, but probably more afternoon. So we are at the very end of Saturn's journey in the sign of Aquarius, and I mean in the sign of Capricorn. So there's likely to feel like something ending, some culmination, and really a good way to think about it, a metaphor is like we have personally and collectively opened the door into the next sign of Aquarius, or that whatever house that is in your chart, and we are on our way in, about to fully step into that house. We're almost in, but the door is wide open, and we're getting, we have a little bit of a glimpse. So pay attention to see if you notice a shift between today and tomorrow, and even these coming several days. That is Saturn in Aquarius, and we also had a very little glimpse into Saturn in the sign of Aquarius back in the spring and in the early summer. So perhaps there may be a revisiting of some of that energy, or some similar themes unfolding. Or perhaps if anything was began and not resolved, it'll need to be revisited coming up. So, little astrology talk. We're here, cozy by the fire, and this is one of, I just have to share, being an astrologer. This is one of the most exciting and profound weeks in astrology, perhaps of the decade, at least for several years. There's so much unfolding this week and so much anticipation for great conjunction. We just had eclipses. Mercury's about to get to be Cazimi in a few days too. Saturn and Jupiter both going into Aquarius. It's a very exciting time to be a human, but especially an astrologer. So I'll leave it at that. All right. So for those of y'all that may be tuning in for the first time, my name is Nick Lasky. I'm a professional psychic and astrologer. And welcome. So let us dive into our meditation. I hope everybody is doing well. It's been a little chilly here, and of course the virus is pretty intense, I guess, and it's spread all over the place. And I know lots of people having very intense weeks and days and things like that. So I hope everybody is doing well and healthy, and that you are very much taking some time for self-care amidst this swirling kind of eclipse crossroads kind of place that we're at collectively as a humanity right now, but definitely also that is just a summation of everyone's personal lives. Because humanity is made up of you and me. So, that being said, let's send some light to humanity, as I'm sure many could really use it. So let's go ahead and find ourselves settling into a comfortable position. Taking your time to really relax your body. And let's take 3 big exhales together to let go of any stress or tension that we may be holding on to. Taking a big breath in and a big open mouth exhale. Once again, breathing in, exhaling. One final time, breathing in and exhaling. And gently closing your eyes, finding yourself slowing everything down. Giving yourself permission in this moment to relax, to let go of the monkey mind, to let go of the need to figure anything out or worry about anything for this brief period of time. Let these issues, these matters, these concerns that preoccupy the mind, let them rest. Give them a moment give them a nice power nap. Let's call it a power nap. So, as we breathe profoundly, sensate yourself really relaxed in the physical body. Scanning the entirety of your body from the tip of your crown all the way down to your toes. Feeling a deep relaxation come to each part of your body. Feeling yourself very calm, at ease, and flowing. And I'll begin to count from 10 down to 0. And when I reach 0, you will be in a deeper state of surrender, awareness, and calmness. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Profoundly relaxed. And for a few moments of time, simply observe your breath. A little bit of a stillness meditation. Just watching, observing the breath as it comes in and out of the nose, as it fills your lungs, as it crosses the top of your lip. Observing the sensations of the breath for a few moments. Cultivating singularity. Focus upon the breath. And become aware in this moment of time that you are light. On the physical level, we actually emit light that can be measured. On the metaphysical level, light pure light is perhaps our essence. So for a few moments of time, observe yourself as light. Imagine that you are light. Imagine that you are a radiant source of light, like a star. Emanating, glowing. For a few moments, simply be in your radiance. Be still and be radiant. And then once again, breathe profoundly 3 times. As you continue to be a source of radiant light, as if suddenly unleashed, let your light now radiate outward in all directions, quickly expanding to fill your space, your home, your building, your neighborhood, your surrounding environment, your city or town or village, quickly radiating to fill the entirety of your state or province, and then the country that you are in, and then the planet. Quickly the light moves. And now image that the light has spread to fill the earth. All of the earth, all of the beings, creatures upon the earth and in the earth are now in this glowing orb or sphere of light. Taking a deep breath, allowing the light to penetrating each human upon the planet, each animal, each plant, each tree, each ecosystem, each insect, everything. Feeling a harmony with this light. And in the next moment, I will begin to offer specific intentions of radiance, things, blessings, focuses to radiate outward. And yes, in this moment of time, invoke the grid of other practitioners all across the planet. And you imagine a beautiful grid of light that lights up the earth, the connection with those practicing now and at any time on behalf of existence. So breathing profoundly. And in this moment of time, let us radiate compassion. Taking a deep breath. Let us radiate wholeness. Breathing profoundly. Let us radiate forgiveness. Breathing profoundly. Let us radiate love. Taking a deep breath. Calmness. Breathing profoundly. Let us radiate wisdom. Breathing. Let us radiate profound support amongst our sistren and brethren, that those that are able to assist those in need, that they do so. Breathing profoundly. Let us radiate brilliance, profound brilliance of the mind and of creativity outward to humanity. And if you have any particular intentions, prayers, blessings that you would like to radiate outward at this time, go ahead and do so. And let us, for a few moments of time, simply radiate light. Be light. And once again, taking a few deep breaths. And slowly, very slowly, beginning to come back to your body. And in a moment of time, I'll begin to count from 1 to 10. And when I reach 10, you may gently open your eyes, find yourself awake and alert. Back in the body. 1, 2, 3. Beginning now to stretch, to adjust yourself. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Taking a final deep breath in. And 9 and 10. Welcome back, folks. I hope we are in a very expanded state to receive the rest of this teaching that we've been sharing each week from our teacher, Jerome, who's a channeled entity, who's an enlightened presence. And we have been, for months now, diving into the subject of Kundalini, which is the spiritual life force energy that flows through all beings. And there are many sciences and arts and spiritual practices and traditions that work with Kundalini. So, let us continue. If you consider for a moment of time the sigil of the great mind, the yantra of our mystery school of wisdom, and for those that are not familiar, this is 2 concentric circles, one larger, the one in the middle is a little bit smaller, and then getting closer in, there is a spiral. So you will recall that in the sigil and the yantra, there is a central spiral that is surrounded by a thick and then thicker ring that contains it. This yantra affects the brain most profoundly because it placed the image of the spiral to be received by the brain at the level of the cerebral consciousness. And it invites, like a magnet, the upward movement of the energy. From the root, which is the fallout, the emanation of that energy that happens in the approach to the upward strike of the coil. The complete upward strike of the coil of Kundalini happens in 2 very specific meditation experiences. One is partial, the other is complete. When it is complete, that is it. You are liberated from this level of experience. You no longer have to remain here. And if you do remain here, you are no longer governed by the same physical laws. The physical laws that provide the scientific evidence that you are dead when you are dead, the scientific evidence that gives rise to that illusion, you then reclaim your immortal awareness. You are immortal, but entering an immortal awareness is what liberation is about. We shall dialogue these 2 instances of the strike upward of this Kundalini. Again, remembering, we remind you again that when we are speaking of the upward strike, in most instances, we are speaking of the fallout of the tension that just begins to happen before the upward strike. That moment must be viewed in the context of eternity, because we are referring to it as a moment, but it could actually take an entire lifetime or many years of a lifetime for the upward strike to actually happen. So the upward strike that we're referring to in some moments is the fallout, the warming heat as the strike is approached, most appropriate. Breathe profoundly 3 times and let yourself in these 3 breaths integrate intellectually for a moment of time. Just ride the energy for a few moments. The pauses are more important than the words, and the pauses are very valuable because we have many more things to discuss. Because you have many more things that you desire to understand. Most appropriate. Most appropriate indeed. It's getting very deep now. So, I hope everybody. Oh, the cat hates the bell. I hope everybody is, again, doing well and checking in on friends and family members. It's a pretty intense time for a lot of folks. So highly recommended to be helpful when you can be and to ask for help when you need to. And yeah, in case anybody is interested, you all know that John J. Oliver is teaching a special course on the astrology and the psychic perspective on 2021 and beyond. And that is going to be Friday evening at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. He will also be talking about the astrology of the Great Conjunction and the significance of that. So I would highly recommend to come. I will definitely be there. And if you want to figure out how to find out about that or register for that, just go to johnjoliver.com and you'll see it there in his events calendar, johnjoliver.com. Well then, it's time we go. So have a beautiful evening, and I will see y'all next time. And in the meantime, enjoy the Great Conjunction.